Hi there. It's March the 7th, and we're reading in Mark, continuing our journey. We're reading in Mark 13, verses 14 to 37, to the end of the chapter. Jesus opens up this reading we've got in continuing, talking about the things that are coming at the end of time, the end of all things, at the great restoration of all things. But he starts off by talking about desolation, the desolating abomination. And this is something that is referred to in Daniel chapter 12. In fact, there are real echoes here in what Jesus is saying of the book of Daniel, and particularly the last chapter, at the culmination of all things. And Jesus is saying, look out for this time coming. When you see the signs, says you know actually how when autumn is coming, because you see the fig tree in fruit, and so you'll know when these things are happening, things are going to come together. It won't be when false messiahs come and false Christs who claim to be him. There are going to be many coming in his name who are not indicating the end. But Jesus says, you will see the Son of Man. He will come on the clouds. He will come to establish his kingdom in the earth, and all nations will be gathered to him. But he says something very interesting. Although we can know the signs, he says only the Father knows the exact moment. The angels don't know it. The Son doesn't know it himself. Only the Father knows when all things are ready and when the end will come. And therefore it's important to know that, because sometimes there are people who will tell us dates and times and promise us for sure that this is when we'll see Jesus return. But actually Jesus says, even I don't know the time. So to suggest that we have a time is actually to contradict what Jesus says here. But he does say that we should be watching and we should be praying. He's saying be vigilant. The word he uses, grigorite, is a word that means to be vigilant, to be on guard. So we need to be watching and also to pray. He says pray. So watching and praying are two things that we are called to do at all times, because we don't know this moment when Jesus is going to bring all things to a close. And he says it could be at daybreak, it could be at night, but there is going to be that reckoning that is coming, because he is going to return in power and his people will be gathered to him. It's hard to understand fully all these things that Jesus is saying. They're very what we call apocalyptic. They're very mysterious. But what we do know is that we are called now to watch, to be vigilant, to watch over our lives, to watch for Jesus, and to pray. And prayer is something ongoing, something in our daily lives that is easy for us to take up. If we give ourselves to these things, then we won't be taken off guard when Jesus does appear to bring all things to a culmination. Have a very good March the 7th.